Alright, yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. Alright, in today's video, we're actually going to be doing a full backtesting session. So this has been a highly requested topic. We're going to be breaking down every single trade that we took this week with the VIP singles group, sharing all of our wins and losses. Alright, so we're going to be fully breaking them trades down. Just a quick announcement as well, we are also running a lifetime access 50% off sale at the moment. Usual price is $400. Right now it's only $200 one-time payment. Okay, but this sale ends at midnight New York time. So by the time I post this video, and by the time it's out, you'll likely have a few hours to still secure your seat. But after that time, it's going back up to the $400 one-time payment. But yeah, other than that, guys, let's jump straight into the video. All right, so let's start off with Monday morning. Okay, so on Monday, we actually took a long setup, okay, that ended up running for around 73 handles on NASDAQ. Okay, so let's break this trade down. So this is the analysis that I was monitoring on my chart going into Monday morning. My thought process was we respected this daily bullish unicorn model in the higher time frame. We're coming out of this fair value gap and price came back down into a premium, tapped into this 15-minute imbalance and respected it. As you can see here, the wicks, the damage, bodies tell the story. The bodies closed very, very algorithmically. We had that nice bullish reaction inversing this bearish imbalance. So I was watching this 15-minute fair value gap here to see if we get some sort of entry on the lower time frame to target these highs. All right, so I've just skipped forward to the first AM macro here, which is 9:45 to 10:15. As you can see, price came down at 9:30, so we had the original Judas swing, swept these lows, tapped into that 15-minute imbalance, and now we're starting to displace higher. So what I'm watching here is, do we get a 1-minute fair value gap, and do we inverse these bearish imbalances? All right, so as the moment, no trade at all. Okay, there we go, start to see some bullish displacement, still no entry, and there we go, that's our first entry. So notice how we didn't take this high out and we actually left the relative equal highs there, right? So if we would have taken that high out, I would have not taken a trade. However, because we left equal highs, this fair value gap for me was still valid. All right, so I marked this out and I had my entry literally at the edge of the fair value gap and just stop loss below this order block here. All right, risking around 15 handles on that trade. And then my first TP was actually at this bearish order block here, right? So once price rebalanced this inefficiency, my first TP is going to be at that order block low. So that's around 47 handles. Let's see how this plays out. There we go, first TP smashed. So this was actually recorded live as well. And at the time, once we respected this 1-minute fair value gap here, I decided to move my stops to that swing low, risking around 3 handles. So at this point was a break even or risk-free trade. Okay, once we pushed higher, ES ended up taking this high here. So we had the SMT. I trailed my stops again towards this low in a profit. And then obviously we smashed first TP. Now, after we smashed first TP, I left my stops at this swing low and I targeted London highs, which is the next drawn liquidity for 72.75 handles. Now let's see how this plays out. There you go, TP smashed. All right, absolutely lovely. Now, I'm not gonna lie guys, we did take a little loss prior to taking this long sup. We actually went for the shorts and we got stopped out for 4 handles. Okay, so very, very small loss, but we recovered that quickly with that 73 handle W. All right, so that's Monday morning. Now let's move on to Tuesday and see how that played out. All right, boys, just a quick announcement. All right, the VIP signals room is available on Whoop for only $50 a month. Now, the difference between the lifetime access and the monthly plan is you get the full A to Z course in the lifetime access option, whereas the monthly, you only get access to the VIP signals chat. Okay, so you still get to watch me live trade every single morning. You get access to the VIP chat rooms and you also get access to the signals. Now, we're also gonna be running a lifetime access giveaway. Everyone who leaves a 5-star positive review on the Whoop after their purchase, okay, and sends me a screenshot directly either through Telegram or Instagram, including their proof of purchase and review, their name will get selected and put into the draw for the lifetime access giveaway. All right, so there's gonna be 2 seats available for this giveaway, so make sure to leave that 5-star positive review, and that will give you a chance to win a seat inside of the VIP signals room chat for absolutely free. All right, boys, let's go into the second trade. All right, so Tuesday, we actually ended up taking 2 losses. All right, now let's break this trade down. So we took this short trade initially as we had a very large SMT on the higher time frame, okay, with ES. So ES at the time, I'm pretty sure we had swept London highs and these highs here, and we were in this 15-minute unicorn model to go short. As you can see, we have this inefficiencies. This is our breaker block. This is a unicorn model, for the shorts. The only flaw with this trade here is that we've already taken the objective, which was sell side down here. If you're taking a unicorn model, you don't want that to be taken, okay? You just want this low to get broken and these lows to stay intact. That's the most and highest probable setup that's gonna be. However, we still took our chances and we took the short here at 9:50 a.m. So that's perfectly aligned with the macro. Very clear to me, displacement, break below a swing low. We entered off that fair value gap, stop loss just above the swing high, and we got stopped out very, very quickly for a 20 handle loss. And then once again, once we inverse this tiny bullish 1 minute fair value gap, I decided to try a re-entry and go for the inverse. So I went short off the inverse fair value gap, stop loss literally above the displacement candles high, risking 13 handles, and unfortunately we got stopped out there as well. So Tuesday wasn't our best day, but it is what it is. That is what you get in trading. So be fully transparent. As you can see here, the chats, minus 20 handles, minus 15. So we were down 35 handles on Tuesday. Let's go over Wednesday's trade breakdown. All right, so Wednesday was actually a banger for us, okay? Initially we took a loss in the morning, which was this trade here. So we tried to go for the longs, okay, because we were in this 4-hour fair value gap here, which at the time was getting respected, and we are also inside this 4-hour unicorn model, go long. So I decided to wait for a lower time frame entry, and once we got a displacement above the short time high, we got that fair value gap. I decided to enter off the edge of the fair value gap, stop loss literally below the swing low, and then target the opposing liquidity. However, this quickly got stopped out for 20 handles. All right, now at this point I was waiting for a clearer displacement to go long. Okay, I was still bullish on the day. However, once this 4-hour fair value gap here got inversed, I quickly changed my bias and switched to the shorts. All right, so at the time it's not really that clear on NQ, but this was a bullish fair value gap here on ES. Okay, so once I seen that get inversed and the 4-hour got inversed, I knew that we're gonna head lower, and I decided to risk around 18 handles on this trade. All right, so literally stop loss just above that displacement candles high. And my first TP was at this small 15-minute imbalance here. So as you can see on the 1 minute time frame, let's quickly play this out. Boom, TP1 gets smashed. All right, so at this point we're floating around 55 points, and I decided to move my stop just above that up close candle there. So pretty much a risk-free trade at this point. Okay, TP2 was at this small 15-minute imbalance down here as well for 104 handles. So let's see how that plays out. Boom, TP2 smashed. Now at this point, you should be out around 80% of your position, which I was at the time, okay? And I'm trailing my stops actively. So once we took out this low and we had a strong closure below that up close candle, I trailed my stops just above that swing high there. And there you go, we get stopped out in a profit for 134.5 handles, which is absolutely insane, okay? So that loss in the morning got wiped out. We're up around 110 handles on Wednesday. All right, so as you can see, guys, I use a lot of different models, all right? So I'm not just stuck to the two main models that I trade. Now, these are the unicorn model and the silver bullet. These are the trading models that I've used to make over 6 figures in profits from trading, and I've used them for a long time, and they work, guys. However, you have to be adaptable to the market. So when I see the market presenting a different model and you know the drawn liquidity, there's context and narrative behind that trade, I'm gonna take that trade. But anyways, let's jump into Thursday's price action. All right, so Thursday, the price action this day was absolutely lovely. Okay, amazing price action. So what were my thoughts going into this trading morning? Now, price had came up. A lot of people from 8:30 a.m. New York time were making money going off the longs. So I was expecting all of this to be low resistance liquidity. All right, and I was expecting a sharp move, displacement lower after we had swept this price liquidity level. We actually got a unicorn model, which is perfect, all right? However, at the time, this wasn't an FPG, and we never actually retraced to this fair value gap here. We only had this breaker block, which is the down close candle here. So I wanted to get my entry off of that breaker block there on the 15-minute time frame, and I wanted to look for a 1 minute reaction where I could enter off of, okay? So as you can see, we retraced into equilibrium, okay, or into a premium of this range. Now at this point I was looking for a bearish reaction to confirm the shorts, and that way I can enter off the lower time frame, set a reasonable stop loss, and target the opposing liquidity. This was our first reaction here, where you could have done a aggressive short entry. However, I don't like to do that. I like to wait for an additional fair value gap before I enter. All right, so boom, we get that fair value gap. I'm waiting for my entry. Unfortunately, we never got that entry on that gap, and price just ran all the way to our TPs. So this was actually a 120 handle move. Unfortunate, but hey, we missed it. It's trading. It happens, okay? So at this point, I was waiting for the second AM macro. Now during the second AM macro, we had swept the lows to the left of us, okay? We had a bullish SMT. ES had taken out previous daily low, and I was waiting for that bullish displacement higher. Now we got that displacement higher here. However, still no entry on that FEG there, so we didn't enter. And we carried on waiting patiently where we got our second entry here, okay? So I decided to enter off that fair value gap there, stop loss just below the swing low, risking around 26 handles. Okay, usually I like to risk 25, but in this case, it was only a few handles off, so I decided to risk that much and then aim for these highs over here, okay? So let's see how this plays out. Okay, there you go, very, very nice. TPs smashed. Now, at the time, ES actually had taken this high and I wanted to close out 10 micros. So if you go back and watch the stream, I actually posted this on Instagram as well. For some reason, I don't know if it was my copy trader or if it was Top Step or Apex, the broker did not let me close out 10 micros. No idea why, but there was some sort of error. And as soon as I seen ES take that high, I decided to just close out fully. So we actually secured around 75 handles. I think I closed out around here, okay? So that was me, but the group still managed to secure their TPs. So let me just show the chats quickly. There we go, that first AM macro, which we predicted perfectly to the T, all recorded on live stream, which didn't get an entry. Missed out on 140 handles, all good. Second AM macro, this is the long that we took, SL, TP, and there you go. So I alert the group closing 50% here. This was the time where they didn't actually let me close 10 micros, which is annoying, but is what it is. And once ES took them highs, close out 100% here, 75 points secured. All right. So overall, very, very good week so far. Now I'm going to break down the last and final trades on Friday. I'm going to be honest, these trades on Friday wasn't the best price action, but I'll break them down anyway. All right. So we can learn from our losses together. Okay. So very simple going into the morning. We had these very, very clean liquidity levels. All right. Buy side up here, sell side up here. Asia highs, London highs, and London lows. All right, so once we swept London highs and Asia highs, I was bearish and I'm waiting for that displacement lower. Okay, so let's see if we get that displacement. Boom, we get a very, very sharp and clear displacement. Okay, I mark out my fair value gap here. Now, this was really a textbook 2022 silver bullet model. All right, it's inside that 950 1010 macro. We've swept London highs, Asia highs, and we've displaced lower. You enter the FEG and you target the opposing liquidity. All right, this is literally textbook setup for a 2022 ICT silver bullet model. However, when we enter, you know, I don't like to risk more than 25 handles. So this trade was 23.75. You're supposed to put your stop above the first candle, right? So it's a free candle formation. Your minimum stop placement should be above the candle here or a swing high. Okay, but as you can see in this case, we're risking just way too much. So the risk to reward doesn't make sense. I'm not going to risk 45 handles. I never do that. The maximum I risk is around 30 handles maximum. Okay, like on NFP weeks where the candles tend to be slightly larger than usual, but usually it's 25 to 30 handles max. Okay, so 45 is non-negotiable. Okay, we're not doing that. So stop placement was just below the displacement candles high. And obviously, as you can see, we get tapped in and we get stopped out. All right. Now at this point, we just waited for the second macro to see if we get anything else. Now the second macro, I was looking for longs. Okay, we were getting this bullish unicorn model set up here, and I decided to go long off this fair value gap here, stop loss just below the order block. And once price moved in our favor, I actually moved my stops just below that candle's low there, risking around 10 handles. All right, and that got stopped out as well. Okay, so here you go. Hello chats. We're down. Total 25 handles on that day there. All right, so here is the weekly trade breakdown that we post literally every single week, showing you our wins and losses so you guys can get a rough idea of the win rate. Okay, so as you can see, Monday, we took 1 L, 1 W, 70 handles profit. Tuesday, 2 Ls, 35 handle loss. Wednesday, 1 L, 1 W, 114.5 handles. Thursday, 1 W, 75 handles. Friday, 2 Ls, 25 handles. So as you can see, we actually took 6 losses and we took 3 Ws and we were still profitable for that week. So it really doesn't matter how many losses you take, okay? Just remember, if your risk to reward ratio is correct and your wins are bigger than your losses, you should be profitable, right? So this was actually a great week for us. A ton of people made money in the signals room. We were also running a free trial at the start of the week. So anyone who joined that 5-day free trial literally paid for their monthly subscription, right? Which is absolutely insane. But yeah, guys, that's going to be me done for this week's YouTube video. Okay, hopefully these backtesting sessions help you guys. Now, comment your suggestions down below, what you want to see next. And you know what, actually, let's do this, guys. Whatever the top comment says on this video, so whoever gets the most likes on their comment, I will do that video for you lot. As long as it's appropriate and legal, that suggestion I'll take into account and I'll make sure to do that video for you lot, all right? So other than that, please leave a like, leave a comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you lot in the next one. Take it easy, boys.